Hello and welcome to the 5th Norfolk Football Podcast. My name is Matt Carpenter, Football Services Manager here at Norfolk FA. We're going to cover a variety of different topics today, and so I have a variety of people in the room with me. Sitting opposite me is Thomas Constance, our Football Services Officer for Competitions.
Hello.
We have Bex Burton, our Marketing Communications Manager.
Hello.
And on my immediate right, Gavin Lemmon, our Chief Executive. Gavin, you're actually in the room with a couple of different hats on today, as we're going to touch on your role on the FA Council and also the new Under-18s manager.
Yes, so 3 hats, is that?
A man of many hats. Okay, well, we'll start with the County Cups because we've got a big weekend ahead of us. So, Tom, we've got both Primary Cup and Women's Cups, I think, this weekend.
Yes, we have. So we've got second round of Primary Cup, so East and West, and then the first round of the Women's Cup. So in the Women's Cup, we've got only got 3 ties. Originally 4. One was unfortunately called off last week. Obviously the standout tie in the round is Sprowson v Kings Lynn. Sprowson have had not the best start, and Kings Lynn have had a solid start, so I would say that's probably the tie of the round.
Okay, excellent. And then the Primary Cup?
So for me, not many standout ties, and there's a few derbies in there. So we've got Rockland United Reserves, Hingham Athletic Reserves, Aylsham v North Walsham A, so that should be quite fiery, and then AC Mill Lane Reserves v Caister Development. AC Mill Lane have had a good start, they're top of the league, but Caister is struggling a bit, who are bottom of the same league in the Great Yarmouth Saturday League, but it's a local derby, so anything can happen.
I noticed on the bit of paper you've got in front of you as well, Tom, there's a few that have got the word off written next to them, unfortunately.
Yeah, so we've got 4 games off, unfortunately. So Refley Youth v Inglesthorpe Reserves is off, Yaxton v Castle Rising is off, Bridgham United v Colkirk, and Mulbarton Wanderers A v Dussendale Rovers Reserves is off.
Very disappointing, but hopefully there'll be a number of good games played this weekend.
So, yeah.
And then obviously that brings us then to doing the draws the following week.
Yep.
We've done a few different things so far this season, so what are the plans for the next rounds of the Primary and the Women's Cup then?
So for the women's, we're heading down to Thorpe High School. There's a Wildcat session taking place, so we're going to get a few of the girls involved. We're doing the draw for the second round, and then on the same evening, or same day, in the evening we're heading to the FTC for the Primary Cup draw, and there's the Norwich RA there, so we're going to get a few referees involved with the draw.
Excellent. So I think it's 12:30 for the women's and then 7 o'clock
right.
for the primary on Monday.
Yeah.
So big cup weekend ahead. Just staying on the subject of cups, going to turn into Bex. I know we have opportunities for sponsorship of the cup competitions at the moment, so obviously we'd love to hear from anybody who might be interested in joining as a partner along those lines.
Yeah, there are massive opportunities for a local or regional organisation to get involved with us as a partner, but also to receive pretty much unrivaled exposure with regards to brand awareness, naming rights, things like that. These competitions are very much loved throughout the county, and it's probably testament to them that they haven't been available for the last decade. So we're really keen to get some organisations involved, and like I said, it's a brilliant opportunity to get name branding out there, across to all the people playing football within the county.
So if there's anybody listening who is interested, just get in touch with you.
Yep, definitely.
Fantastic. One thing we have got to announce, though, Gavin, is that the sponsor for the actual trophies, 4 trophies, have extended their deal with us for another 2 seasons.
Yeah, so it's a long-standing partnership. We've worked with 4 trophies for the last 10 years. It's something that we like to work with local partners. They're a local organisation based in Dereham. They've supplied our County Cup medals for obviously that period of time, and we get good service and good quality of medal, and saw no reason not to extend the partnership.
Okay, excellent. So just coming back quickly to the primary of the women, just to put Tom fully on the spot here now then, who would you say your favourite is for each competition, Tom? No pressure here.
Yeah, so for the women's, you'd probably say Acle.
Good answer, Tom.
Wyndham, Norwich, and possibly even Kings Lynn.
So that's 4 of the 16 teams that are left in here?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Probably the 4 highest teams in the competition.
Fair enough.
Then for the primary, you'd probably say the Holders Gate Reserves. They are the highest placed team in the competition. So them, along with any other ANCOM team in the competition as well.
We'll see how that pans out over the course of the remaining round. Excellent. Okay, I think that's cups kind of covered. Another important aspect of what we do within the county, obviously, is safeguarding of the game. And as everybody who's listening hopefully will be aware, we undertake a number of safeguarding visits around the county. And Gavin, I think they have started again for this season, and I think you may even have done one last night.
Yeah, so I went over to Holt to do an unannounced visit to Holt United youth teams, and I will say at this point it's not because we have any concerns with Holt United youth. It was just pretty much luck of the draw, and we tried to make sure we do a geographical spread of the clubs that we visit. So it was Holt's turn to receive an unannounced visit, and it was great. I got there and spoke to a number of coaches that are working with teams. I spoke to a number of parents. There was a good amount of parents actually there spectating, which isn't always the case, probably helped by the weather was okay, and it was a really good feel about the night, and the knowledge from the coaches and the parents that I spoke to around safeguarding, around who their key individuals are within the club, was excellent, and probably from my perspective the best one that I've done to date. So really pleasing for the club, and they'll get that fed back to them via our designated safeguarding officer Ken. We'll feed that back to the club next week. So well done to Holt United Youth.
That's great to hear, and I think it's a message that has been pushed really hard now, hasn't it, for a number of months and possibly even years now, and it's great to hear that clubs are actually sort of finally taking it on board, because it's one of those things that, you know, it's easy perhaps to pay lip service to sometimes, and it's a very important topic, and it's very important that people do the things that we ask of them, make sure the coaches have got the right checks in place, and that people are aware that if there is something going on, that they do know how to report it.
Yeah, can't argue that at all, Matt. The other good thing that I like is people seem to like us attending, even when it is unannounced. So when you first arrive at the site, there's often the odd strange look towards you, and in some cases uneasy looks, because I think you're probably maybe coming up to tell them off or something. But as soon as you obviously explain why you're there, they're really appreciative of the visit, and like to have the opportunity to speak about other matters. So I speak to parents about all sorts of different stuff really in regards to youth football, and it was a nice evening.
I think any opportunity that we have to get out there is a good thing to do, isn't it? I mean, Bex, we certainly did a lot of coverage on some of the county cups last season, and I know that went down really well for similar reasons, didn't it? You know?
Yeah, and we're planning to do that again this season.
Yeah, so which is good. So we've got plenty more of those visits to come. As Gavin has just sort of said, they are all unannounced, so we're certainly not going to give anything away. I know I've got one coming up very soon.
Me too.
As indeed has Bex, and I think Tom has as well.
Yeah.
So we'll keep on with those, and hopefully they'll all be as successful as Gavin's was at Holt yesterday. Just changing subject again then, Gavin, so as I said at the start, you've got 3 hats on at the moment potentially. The second hat that we will refer to is taking over from Adam, who obviously had a fantastic season last year as manager of our under-18 squad, couldn't have done any more than he did, and obviously you were part of the management team last year as well. Now you are the main man. Trials have happened. Do we have a sort of squad in place now? Are we happy with how things are going?
Yes, so we held 2 trial evenings in the end. So for the first one, we had a really great response from clubs and players. We had 49 players at the first one. The key thing that we wanted to do is to get that down to more of a manageable number at a second trial night, which we held last week, and you know, a really good quality of group of players, and it made it a really difficult decision, but we have come and got a squad together. Not one I can announce on the podcast tonight, because we're still waiting for a few players to confirm their availability, but that will be announced early part of next week via social media as we head to Cornwall on Friday for a little short trip, 8 hours. I think we'll finally arrive at some point on Friday, and then we're playing Saturday at 11 o'clock, so we'll give ourselves a chance to actually be back again on the Saturday by kicking off early. So long journey ahead. Another good experience for the players, as we had last year with trips away, and hopefully it can be the start of another special journey.
Fingers crossed, because obviously there's no league games again this season, is there, unfortunately?
No, we don't have a local league provision anymore. It doesn't look like that's going to be coming back anytime soon, so we work on the basis this is the competition that we can enter, to give players that exposure to a national competition and exposure to representing the county, and hopefully it aids in their development alongside what they do at their clubs and education and the various other football activity they get involved in.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt that everybody who's in the squad last season, managers, players, administrative staff, had an experience that will live with them forever, basically, won't it?
Yeah, and we want to repeat that again. Hopefully it's more than just this one game. That will be our aim. We're not in it just to take part, we're in it to try and win the competition. So that will be the task that the players have got, and us as a group of coaches have got, and we'll see how we get on.
fingers crossed for Saturday the 27th then, and a safe journey hopefully on Friday the 26th as well. I guess Tom would have glossed over that one, wouldn't he, when he looked through the ties, because that wouldn't have come up as a local derby for sure, that one, would it? So, but no doubt he'll predict a Norfolk win for us anyway. The other hat that you're wearing, Gavin, is obviously as part of your role with the CEO is you are our representative on the FA's Council. So you would have been part of the conversations that have been happening recently regarding what proved to be a slightly controversial topic of the sale of Wembley, which has obviously now fallen through. So just tell us a little bit about that, perhaps the meetings you attended and your experiences of that discussion.
Yeah, well, it started many months ago, really. So the FA board received an offer, something that they thought was considered. Well, actually, go back a stage. The FA executive, so the Chief Executive, received an offer, which he felt merited a discussion at the board. They were tasked to then look into that offer further and look into more of the detail. FA Council were first made aware of it a few months ago, and it was a case of building up the detail around what the bid would look like. Last week there was an FA Council meeting where there was a larger debate around the offer, with now knowing more of the detail, and there was due to be a follow-up meeting next week where a vote was due to take place, but obviously the news came early this week that the offer had been withdrawn. I will say disappointingly, from the perspective that we never actually got to the point where the vote could take place. I would have much preferred a vote to have taken place to actually really understood what the support was within FA Council. The other thing that the FA wanted to take into consideration was other football stakeholders and football people's views, and they've run a survey throughout this process. They've probably looked into things like Sky Sports holding votes via Twitter, and it is quite split, and actually in some cases there's more support for no sale than there is for the sale. I suppose the only disappointing thing was around the investment that the grassroots game was proposed to receive, and the fact that we now don't know where that additional investment could come from. But I would say with any challenge there's an opportunity, and the opportunity now is with the FA to look at, well, they know what the problem is, they've identified they needed this additional money to address a problem, let's find it from elsewhere. And they need to work with the key stakeholders within the game, the Premier League being the most evident one with regards to monies within the game, and seeing whether there's another solution to it, and hopefully we can achieve what the whole aims of the investment from the Wembley sale would have been, which was to improve community facilities around the country. So more work to be done, I'm sure.
As you say, it's a shame it didn't actually get to the vote stage, but the statements that I read sort of seemed to suggest that the offer withdrawn because there wasn't a sort of an overwhelming support for it, but it also didn't seem to close the door completely either. No,
I'd say the door's been left ajar. How helpful that is, I don't know. Overwhelming support, I don't know what that means. The FA chairman was quite clear on the fact that it needed to have significant support, so it wasn't a case of it was 51%, but I think there was talk, 60 to 70% of FA Council would needed to support the sale. From the meeting last week, I have no idea whether that was a 50-50 or a 60-40, because a vote didn't take place. And there's 120 plus individuals on FA Council. There was probably only 25 individuals that were heard on the day, time permitting. So it's really difficult to gauge where everyone was at. And individuals, so from my perspective, it's not about what I personally think, it's about what the county FA thinks, and it was going to be a board decision. Obviously the board no longer needs to make that decision for us to then put forward what that vote would be, but so it's not always about what that individual might think on FA Councils, what their representing body mandate would be. So yeah, it's a shame really, because it would have just been nice to know exactly where it was in regards to a vote, but it's not happening, so we move on and see where the next opportunity presents itself. Yeah, absolutely, and hopefully there will be sort of plans in place that will provide more finance to grassroots football, because it's something that is desperately needed, as everybody listening to this I'm sure would agree. Yeah, and that's the key thing. I think when they highlighted the problem that's always been there, everyone's known it's a problem. I just think it's had more profile, the profile it actually deserves. So hopefully the key stakeholders can come together to come to some sort of conclusion where further investment can be sourced and further investment can make its way down to the ground.
So once again, we'll watch this space then. If we did get more money coming in, that would obviously go to part of the role of our football development team is to look after facilities. But we actually have a member of our football development team that are leaving us shortly.
Yeah, so Stacy Emerson is leaving her role as football development officer at the end of this month. Stacy's been with us for the last 6 years. Started off as an apprentice, moved into being the women's and girls football development officer, and then finally made her way to being our senior football development officer. So a real success story from a workforce development perspective. She leaves with our best wishes, but it presents an opportunity now, great opportunity. I will say that because that's pretty much the role, although it's changed somewhat, but the role that I first joined the County FA in. So I was a football development officer back in 2005. And obviously progressed through to now holding the Chief Executive position. So the opportunities are there within an organisation like ours to progress. If people are interested, the job application is on the website. The deadline is next Friday. So anyone that's interested, get your application in.
Hopefully we'll get a lot of good candidates, and you'll have a difficult choice to make in terms of who's going to fill Stacey's shoes, which, let's be fair, are big shoes to fill, because she's done a fantastic job for us, for sure.
No, she's done great, and like I said, she goes with our best wishes.
Absolutely. And that's not the only vacancy we've got at the moment either, Bex.
No, we do have some other vacancies. So on the vacancies section of our website, you can find out more information. And that me and Bryn, who is here once again offering technical support.
Hello, Bryn.
Hello.
we're looking for a digital content intern. So I've done a few speeches now at the UEA for the past few years to some of the sports students to sort of highlight my career path and how I've sort of ended up here, which maybe wasn't what I'd planned, 10 years ago. And I always get quite a lot of interest into, the marketing side of football and the social media side of football and how that's grown over the last 5 to 10 years as well. So we thought about it, and part of our strategy, the Norfolk Football Force strategy, was to include the opening for a digital content intern for someone who wants to get experience in digital marketing within sport, or a student at the local university or Norwich University of the Arts, to help us out with some of the content that we're producing at the moment. So we always try to do more and more and more, but we are a small team, and there's a lot of people within Norfolk that are really interested in digital, really interested in social, really interested in photography and things like that also do have a passion for football as well. So football brings a lot of people together, and we're hoping to maybe offer someone, and out-of-pocket expenses are covered, so no one's going to be left out of pocket, but someone to come and work with us for a day a week across this season for 16 weeks, and they can get some valuable experience working within our team, something they can use to maybe towards a portfolio or a dissertation, but actually make a difference to football in the county as well, and support us in what we're trying to do this season. So that is open now. Deadline is Wednesday the 31st of October, so if anyone is interested, like I said, please look on the vacancy page to find out more information.
Everyone's a winner from that then, so we'll get something from it, and hopefully so with the successful individual. Yeah. And you mentioned photography as part of that. I think you're also interested in potentially hearing on anybody who might be interested in working with us on a sort of more casual basis, just helping cover events for us.
Again, we have a lot of people involved in Norfolk football that volunteer their time to support football clubs around the county with sports photography, and a lot of people maybe have full-time jobs but have a bit of a passion for photography on the side, and again it's something to help us because we need photographers for our events, our tournaments, our county cup finals, and our awards dinners and things like that. But also it's to give someone the opportunity and recognition to get something for their passion, so we can offer some payment there, and we can give them credit, and hopefully their photos will appear in the press and things like that. So we're trying to create basically a casual photographer pool that we can call on, so when we have an event that comes up, we can say, are you available for this? And they say yes, and they'll come and do some work for us on a casual basis. So that's what that one's, and that's also on our vacancies page as well.
Sounds good. So basically head to our website is the answer
definitely.
there then. Okay, the last thing we were just going to touch on today is just to talk about some sort of competitions that we got on the go as well, Beck. So that's you as well.
So a couple of weeks ago, I think it was the podcast before last, we had Rachel on to talk about the Rainbow Laces campaign and what we were going to be doing this year for that. After being one of the few counties that were involved last year, we wanted to make it bigger and better, and Rach, coming in with her new role as inclusion officer, was keen to make it a big success. And we've got an announcement going out today. We've got actually quite a lot of announcements going out over the next 5 weeks with regards to how we're making that bigger and better. But one thing we're particularly pleased to highlight is that we're offering a couple of big competitions in line with it this year. So it's not actually on the website, it will be on the website this afternoon. So if anything, this is a little bit of a sneak preview, should we say. However, those individuals and clubs/teams that want to get involved in the campaign this year can enter the competition to show their support of Rainbow Laces, and the individual that shows the best support will be receiving 2 Norwich City tickets to their feature fixture for the campaign, and the club that or the team that offers the most creative level of support will also receive a sort of like a team pack, which will include some match balls, some equipment, and our partners discount football kits have actually very kindly provided us with a voucher as well. So they're 2 prizes that I can only imagine would be very much valued, and it's all for getting involved in a really positive campaign, so we're really excited about it.
That's brilliant. I think we've also made contact with leagues, Tom, because I think our Veterans League that you're the secretary of got some contact with Rachel with regards to sort of identifying fixtures that might be interested in being involved as well with the Rainbow Laces.
Yeah, so we've got involved with the Rainbow Laces, so we put it around to our league committee and also to our clubs to get involved, really. So if you want to be involved, let us know.
Yeah, I think we've had a really good response this year. Last year the FA offered us a bit of limited support to sort of test the water, I think, and we got 2, I think it was the Kingsland District Sunday League and the Angling Combination that expressed their interest in being involved, and we had 3 feature fixtures. This year I think we've got over 10 leagues that have expressed interest in being involved, and those, like I said, we've got a series of announcements going out, and that one of them will be the leagues that are supporting the fixtures that are being classed as feature fixtures, and all the other things that will be going on through those 3 weekends, and that starts the 17th of November and finishes on the 3rd of December. So it's going to be a really good campaign this year.
It'll be a busy period, but hopefully a really successful one as well.
Definitely.
Excellent. Okay, I think that pretty much brings us to a conclusion for podcast number 5. Thank you for taking the time to listen, and on behalf of everybody in the room, I hope you're enjoying your season so far and that football is bringing you everything that you wanted to. Thank you.